And we are live. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So tonight, as everybody knows, we actually have a very special guest. You guys know him on TikTok. You guys know him on Instagram. You guys know him probably on Twitch. You guys know him all over the place on social media. And of course, his name is Red Rich. Before we bring him out, I would like to discuss a couple of things. Thing number one is going to be the first episode that we chit-chatted with on suicide. And, you know, we read the comments, and the comments were, I can't really think about it, lack of a better word. They were pretty disturbing, but very heartwarming, because the way everybody in the comment section was really engaging and helping everybody out and wanting to reach out and help, which is awesome human being behavior. The next one in the comments, hold on, you guys, it's getting kind of warm in here. The second was that we also did notice that in the comment section, there was a lot of domestic, and I paid attention to that. My team paid attention to that. With that being said, once we paid attention, that's why we jumped into domestic right next to that, right after that episode. Once that episode took off, again, we were reading the comments. Everybody was reading the comments, and my team and I sat down and we said, you know what, we really do need to get one on substance abuse, considering they all kind of intermingle with each other. And you know, I haven't had personally a substance abuse issue, but I have known people that had, and it's very, for us, it's very humbling, and we try our best to do our thing. And there's some people that, you know, they don't want the help, and there's some people that want the help. And with that being said, we need to probably just continue to help. I wasn't there for a few people that needed it, and I told myself it's not going to happen again, and it's not. So whether or not doing podcasts like this help people, I mean, I'm all for it. You know, everybody knows my phone is up and running. Everybody knows I respond quickly to messages. Everybody knows, you know, it is what it is. This is what you get. So I'm really shocked at how much the statistics have gone, and I know they went crazy over COVID time, but I don't want to go too much into negative. We're gonna dabble in with it a little bit tonight, but as far as a true story where down through it and then climbed himself back out with him, I'm sure his support system, his team, you know, his loved ones, those are probably his support system, you know, himself. So we're me personally, I'm so stoked to have him on the show today. He's a huge influence. Him and the Oddcast are a huge influence on this journey of the Gorilla Lounge. You know, there's an end game to this, and just, you guys, I'm super pumped to bring out Red Rich.
What's up, man?
What's up, dude? How are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much for having me on. It means a lot.
No problem. I appreciate you coming out here and wanting to chit chat and discuss this stuff.
Oh, dude, have you met me yet? I love to talk. It's all
You know, I enjoy talking I feel so short when I'm looking in the screen, and you're so tall. I don't.
I mean, I'm on a booster seat. It's like 4 phone books. I just, you know, Piper's always telling me how small I am on the Oddcast. So I was like,
that's awesome, man. I'm super stoked. And I know my team is like, they're in complete awe, because they look at you, and a lot of people do, and correct me if I'm wrong, they look at you as being a TikTok famous.
No. Not even.
I
Not.
mean,
It's flattering to hear it, but like I can put it really easily. If I was famous, at least more than 50% of the world would know who I am. And I've literally like watching Nick's show on Tuesday where his guest was like, "Who's Red Rich?" Which, as Beer Bong John says all the time, I ain't shit. I just got a lot of followers because my kid was cute.
See, and what's crazy is that my kid, he won't do a TikTok with me. I'm kind of bummed. But
don't do it.
He follows me. Sometimes he sees my lives, sometimes his friend sees my lives, and I'm like, they're like, "Dad, man, your dad's TikTok famous." I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, not even close. I did have a friend the other day tell me, and he's well known on TikTok. I think he's got like 50 or 60,000 followers. He was like, I was on a date yesterday, and I go, "Oh, don't tell me you told her you're TikTok famous." He goes, "No, I told her I'm friends with somebody that's TikTok famous." I was like, "No, I'm not, and I'm not your friend. I don't really even like you." But
have you told people that before? Like, hey, you're not even my friend, bro.
I've told people not so much that you're not my friend, but I've told people like, listen, I don't really like you. I tolerate you.
Right.
Because sometimes people just have to know it. But for the most part, I try to be as nice as I can. I do have a quick question though. Am I allowed to curse on here?
Absolutely. This is yeah, you can do whatever. It's
holy shit. Lyrics. That would have fucking sucked. I'm just saying.
No, I've dropped the F-bomb,
okay.
And I think the F-bomb, the S-bomb, all the other bombs.
I'm pretty sure my parents are watching. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
And I talk like that's how I learned how to talk was my mama. Okay.
Yeah.
Saint and a mouth like a truck driver.
See, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But I think that's the New York way, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I mean, somebody, and and so many people have said, like, "Oh man, why don't you buy a car if you're in New York? Why would you buy a car in New York? I mean, probably not where you're at, but I'm sure in the city. Why would you?
In the city, it doesn't make much sense. A lot of people do. I mean, to be honest with you, though, if you live in the city and you live in one of those crazy ass apartments, the cost of parking is like more than some of us pay for rent out here.
No.
So no, thank you.
Won't do it.
Uber, taxi cab, whatever.
Walk.
Yeah, exactly. Walk everywhere.
Fuck that.
No, thank you.
Fuck that. Man, it's great to have you on here, dude. It really is. It really is. Because you've got what, over 300K, right? On TikTok?
Yeah, I'm closing in on 400 right now. I staggered for a while. Like it just sat flat. And the typical bitching and complaining. Oh, I'm shadow banned. I'm leaving. I'm a baby. I'm a child. I'm a 36, almost 36-year-old man child. Like I'll bitch and complain. And then here's how a day in the life of my head goes. Okay. Wake up, look at the views from the night before and go, fuck this app. I'm done with it. Make a video saying I'm done with it. And then around noon be like, hey guys, I'm back.
Right.
I'm just an idiot. And I don't know how anybody puts up with me, but, it just staggered. The views were down really bad. I was losing followers, had gain a little, lose.
Mm-hmm.
And then I truly just stopped caring. I stopped posting on TikTok for a little while. I went over to Reels, trying to grow my Instagram, which was difficult, trying to grow the YouTube. And I kind of just stopped caring about TikTok. And then I would post a video here or there and just stop looking at it and stop caring. And I realized the amount of stress that I was bringing upon myself and my family of being annoyed over this just was gone. It just didn't need to be there.
That's true. Yeah. And I've actually caught myself going, I only got 3 likes on this video and it's only been 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I only got 5 likes and I've caught myself and I'm kind of going, meh. Like I'll post it like, okay. For instance, today I posted the one with the meat, squeezing the meat.
That video is sexy.
And I just lost it. After I did it, I just lost it. Like I was like, and that was it. But all of a sudden I started reading comments and I thought, oh my gosh.
It's gotten to the point now. So like I'll post a video. I put my phone down and I'll try to go to it like an hour or so later, and I don't look at it before then.
Right.
And if I go back and it's got a bunch of views, hey, that's awesome. And if it doesn't, to the next one. And
correct.
It's been way better on me, way better on my family.
Oh yeah.
Because I literally, there was one night I reposted a video 4 times in a course of an hour because I was convinced I was shadow banned. In reality, it was just shit content. But I was convinced I'm shadow banned, and TikTok's got an agenda against me. They picked me out of everybody, you know?
Right. Yeah, no, it's such good humor, and I love dark humor. I'm such a fan of it.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that can't stand dark humor. And I actually showed, so I started a new job, and I work as a subcontractor for an alarm company, which is, it's bomb. I love this gig. So I'm training with this gentleman today, and he's such a cool guy that I literally was like talking to him about TikTok, and he just kind of looked at me. Being like a middle-aged, I'm 43 years old, and all of a sudden he goes, "You just got another follower." I was like, "Shut up, dude. You're on TikTok?" He goes, "I don't post anything, but I was like, hell yeah, that's awesome." And then he subscribed to the YouTube. So I'm hoping he's watching, because this is actually pretty cool.
That's a good dude. See, like me at work,
solid.
Like, a few people know that I make content, but not everybody. Like, I've had one of my higher up bosses was talking about something in a meeting and mentioned TikTok, and like instantly my stomach was like, oh shit.
Yeah, you do this in the corner.
Like, what's that? TikToks? Yeah, those are good. I like those. I never heard of what is this app?
Mix them with gum. Mix them with gum.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I never heard of it. Don't know anything about it. Meanwhile, it's, I got a viral video in the works, and I got the company logo behind me. So it was after that I was like, yeah, I'm not going to bring work. I don't talk about work. I don't make videos about what I do in my lives. If people ask me, I'll switch it up every time. I've been a FBI agent, worked for the X-Files. I forget the other one was, but I'm always something different every time someone asks what I do for a living. So
see, I had a few females slide into the DMs, and they were like, "Hey, I think you're really cute." I was like, "Hey, I'm a lesbian." And they're like, what? I'm like,
yeah, that'll end it quick. Yeah, I'll do the my wife thinks so too, just to try to get it out of the way. And it's also great too, because if the phone is ever sitting around and she sees it, she could see like, okay, see, look, I mentioned you. I didn't say thank you. I mentioned you.
Yep. So it's fun. I tell everybody, I'm 43 years old, and I just enjoyed just my life. This is my life. We only have one, and I enjoy it to the fullest, and that's just going to be it. So
amen to that.
Like it or don't, because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Bottom line.
Frankie said, did it my way.
Yeah, exactly. And I can do a live. I could sit right here and do a live with my son streaming on Xbox, and he'll listen in, and then I can hear him talking to his friends, and then his friends will literally be on live watching me, and he hears it on his headset, all streaming on Xbox. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Just join in. Just come on over here, bud.
Come on over. See, my kids get older. I don't want them watching I don't let them watch my stuff now, and I wouldn't let anybody's kid watch my stuff now, which amazes me that when sometimes I'll see like a comment and I click on it, I'm like, you're like 11. I say a lot of shit that you haven't even learned yet. Yeah. Why are you following me?
I know. And my kids are 15, 16. So just wait till they get that old.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It's very traumatic for me. Not even them.
5 and 3 is a lot of fun. I can't imagine what that's going to be like.
Wow. Yeah. 5 and 3. I couldn't even remember. I couldn't even remember how it was.
It's fun.
It's I won't go through it again. I'm good. I'm good without that in my life right now. 15, 16, I'm happy. They can eat ramen noodles and cook eggs for all I care. I'm happy.
That's my father over there in the comments. Say he doesn't want to watch my shit, but I force you to.
Oh, there he is right there. Welcome to the shit show. This is shit number 1 and shit number 2. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm the big shit.
I'll be the little one because I don't have the numbers like you.
No, him, I'm just a big shit. I mean,
yeah, I'm 6 foot 270 something. So I mean, I'm I'm a big guy. I'm
Yeah, no,
pretty
you got me. I proved today that I'm 6 foot because I was tired of hearing that I'm 5'8". Like, I don't know where that started or how that started. I have no idea where or why somebody just decided that I was going to be short. Apparently, the way I film my TikToks, I look short. And one day I was like, I'm 6 foot. And they were like, the fuck you are. And I was like, I'm 6 foot.
wow.
So today I happened to be making a video next to a SUV. And I went and Googled the height of the SUV plus the inches I had over it. And I was like, there you go. Proof.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. And I showed a buddy of mine the one with Sherman. Bro, I fucking lost it on that one. I was giggling so fucking hard with that one, and then he started laughing too, and he had tears in his eyes.
Oh, that's awesome. That's one of the first ones I think I've ever done that was a one take and over.
Yeah,
Just
dude,
one shot done.
it was so epic that I was like just sitting there going, because I was like, I want to taste grandma's pudding and gravy. I want that pot pie. I want it all too.
I mentioned pot pie and I instantly was like, fuck, I got to get me a pot pie. My mom makes some killer one. I can get a good Marie Callender's, or we have like this chicken place around the corner that makes them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Nice.
love my food.
Nice. So let's play a little questionnaire, my friend.
Do it.
Okay, question number 1 for you, my friend. What circumstances led you to go down the path you did?
It's one of those weird things. Wait, you're a cop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nope, we're not answering these questions.
Well, all right. See you later.
I've been in this situation. No, I'm kidding. It's one of those weird things, man. I had like the best childhood. I have the best relationship with my parents. Statistics always try to show you the broken homes or the rough childhoods or mommy and daddy didn't pay enough attention to me. It's the complete opposite with me. Like, my parents have been together since high school, maybe even before that. I come from a good home, involved in sports. My parents were involved in everything. I was a pretty straight-laced kid. And it was literally just, yeah, fuck it. I'll try it one time at a party. And I liked the feeling. Addiction, unfortunately does run in my family. So it's kind of in the blood. And I should have known that, never even have tried anything. But that was literally it. Like, just one time at a party, somebody had some coke and I was like, yeah, I've never done that. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So that's how it started, was just fuck it, I'll try it and do it.
Yeah, it literally was. It was just, I'd give it a shot. I had a really and I'm not promoting it. It's a terrible, terrible thing.
No, I know.
Like, I don't want anybody to take that message. I had what I thought was the time of my life that night and the best night I've ever had. And little did I know, now sitting here this many years later, that was the worst night of my life. Or the beginning of the worst nights of my life. And it wasn't an instant thing. It didn't like a switch. It was a slow progression, but yeah, that's really what started it. Just, okay, I'll try it.
And you were how old roughly?
At the time, it was around like 2005, so that would have put me at 20, right? Yeah, 20. I was born in 85, so 20. Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably when a lot of people start kind of experimenting. Like, I want to say like 18, 19, 20. It's always like the alcohol and then probably the marijuana when it was illegal. Now it's kind of, I don't know. I don't even know.
I definitely partaked in weed throughout high school and stuff like that. But it was never, everybody's got their own opinions, and rightfully so, on weed. But it just, we did that for fun. It wasn't like a starter or a gateway, and I know it very much can be. But that was never, it wasn't like, well, I've had enough weed, let me try the next thing. It wasn't that at all.
Well, I gotcha. So I guess that just kind of comes right in, like, how, oh man, the question is, how and when did you realize you had suffered or had the addiction? Like, how did you know? You sat back and went, oh shit, this is really happening. I can't believe this is happening. Like, how old, like how far in the rabbit hole were you already?
It's a chain of them, because I hopped from one addiction to the next. And I mean, addictions come even not even in drug form. Addictions come
Right.
in social media form. They come in phone form.
Yeah.
They come in. You can watch too much TV, be addicted to lemonade. But for me, it was around like 2008 when things started to really, really get out of control. Because before then, I would be like a weekend warrior, like once a month party a little too hard. But around like 2008, it went from, every couple of weekends to every weekend. And
Mhm.
then the weekends became Monday and Tuesday. And at this time, it was legitimate. It was about 99% cocaine use. Like that
That
was
was
my
that
party choice.
I
And
think that's almost everybody's wants to be party choice.
yeah, because the thing about it is when you're doing it, your
Mhm.
mind is telling you you are the life of the party, the king of the world. You are unstoppable. Nobody can mess with you. But
Mhm.
from the outside looking in, you're just falling apart. And you deep down inside, you're not making the right choice. But it just got to the point where the weekends, like I said, became Monday, became Tuesday, became Wednesday, then
Mhm.
Thursday, and then at the next point, I know it's almost every single day, or every night leading into the days, going into the days. There were days that I didn't, but it just when I started going through an 8 ball to myself, by myself, that's kind of when I was like, this is getting really, really bad. But you always have this thought like, I could stop this whenever I want.
Yeah.
I
Oh
could
yeah.
I could just stop. I'm not addicted to nothing. I'm stronger than that. I'll stop whenever I want.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's where I was kind of wondering because I know there's a lot of people that say, oh, I can put it's just like smoking. I used to smoke
Mhm.
cigarettes like
Yeah.
it was like a pack a day. And that pack a day, I ended up quitting and it ended up being mind over matter. But I mean, is one worse than the other because they say sugar is just as addictive as cocaine. They
Oh, yeah.
say salt is also addictive, I believe, because it's basically everything in our seasoning.
Yeah.
And basically all of this shit's bad for us. But that's a whole nother
Well,
fucking.
yeah, no, you're 100% right. Anything
But
could be. I mean, they say that coming off of nicotine is the equivalent of coming off of heroin.
Yeah, see,
I have really yet to come. I've never. I was a cigarette smoker too. I quit around the same time that I got clean, and but I used one of these stupid e-cigarette things, and
yeah.
you
And
know,
I would rather, honestly, me personally, I hate the smell of cigarette smoke now,
yep.
and I just, it nauseates me.
I like it if someone else is having a cigarette. So if I walk past you and you're smoking one, oh man, I'm like, but
Jerk.
on you, like if someone comes in
Yeah.
from having a cigarette, I'm like, nope,
See,
nope.
at my last job, all everybody did was smoke. So I would go home and I was coughing and all this, that, and the other, and smoking it was just, the thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't like it. But that's not to say, like, if I'm riding in someone else's car and they smoke a cigarette, who am I to say don't smoke that?
yeah.
It's your car, bro. You do you, boo. As everybody loves to say, you do you, boo.
Yeah, I can't think of the word, but as a smoker, like if somebody didn't smoke, I wouldn't smoke around them or in the car
Mhm.
with them. I tried to be, although that's kind of a fucking lie because we smoked in the house and my poor dad didn't smoke. So, I mean, when I was
Poor
older,
guy.
oh, that poor bastard. Um,
That guy
but
was he's like still
oh, we,
fuck off.
we had me, my mother, my grandmother, my great grandmother. I wasn't smoking when my great grandmother was alive, so I take that back. My friends would come over, we'd hang out. Everybody's puffing away, and this poor bastard's just like, yeah, just sorry,
Yeah.
man.
This poor guy.
But yeah, man. So that was
I know it.
that. I mean, it just it was really around like 2008 with Coke that I knew it was getting out of hand when I was a sales rep and I would be on the road and I'd
Mm,
really be in bed because I was up all friggin' night just doing coke. And it wasn't even, it started as like a social thing to where
mhm.
like we'd go out to the bars and you probably looking back on it now, you realize that there were other signs that you knew things were bad, but at the time you didn't. Like we would scout out the bars based off of their stalls. their
Mhm.
bathroom stalls. If they had one that we could privately go in and close the latch and do a couple bumps or whatever we wanted to do, that's the bars we'd hang out in. We wouldn't go to one that had just stalls and open room. You know,
Right.
looking back on that now, when you're picking the bars and choosing the places you're going to go hang out because of wanting to be able to do drugs there,
Mhm.
yeah, that's a problem. But it quickly went from being out and having a good time to not wanting to go out and just isolating myself and doing it alone
Right.
all hours of the night till the sun came up and
Wow.
through the next day sometimes.
So what wow. So yeah, that's crazy. I mean, in hindsight, all hours of the night, just going out, just doing your thing. It had to be expensive.
Oh, that's yeah. I mean, the amount of money that and with that comes the lies because you can only justify. I don't know where prices are these days, and I don't think we need to get into the prices, but you can only justify spending X amount of dollars per week. Where is it? You know, you do. I
Wow.
did have bills to pay, but I didn't care. You know, I had just gotten back with my now wife. We started dating again, about to move in together, more responsibilities and somebody to answer to.
Yeah.
And it was the amount of lies that you can just come up with to and at the end of the day, nobody's believing you.
Right.
You know, you're just putting a doubt of what is going on, what are you doing type thing. I mean, I would lie about my accounts being hacked. I would lie about not getting paid my bonuses. Meanwhile, my bonuses came in double what I thought they would be, but I spent it. Um,
Wow.
doing whatever you had to do to get the money to get it.
Wow, dude. That I see. I mean, wow, we just barely really know each other now.
Hmm.
I think we started following each other on TikTok.
You were actually a guest on. You were co-hosting with Nick, so
Yeah, for
not
that
that
one
long ago.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's and just to know somebody, just a little bit about them, getting to know you a little bit more, man. I consider you my friend, even
Mhm.
though we've never met in person. You're in New York and I'm in Oklahoma, man, and
Damn,
it's
Okie.
the state that looks like I'm going to say fifth wheel trailer, and Nick is going to say gooseneck, and we are both correct. But I
Hey,
like
at least you don't
gooseneck.
look like the state that's fucked. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah. But so what was your motivation to get out or get the help?
I didn't. It to truly break an addiction, you have to somehow you have to want to. It's the
Right.
same with cigarettes. You're never going to quit unless you want to. Coke ended up not really being my Coke was a mess and it was the start of everything. I'd kind of gotten caught. I kind of tried to admit to my wife, she was my fiance at the time, that I was doing it only a little bit here and there to party, which was a flat out lie.
Right.
Trying to almost get her to say it's okay, which nobody is going to tell you, yeah, go ahead, have fun.
Right.
It didn't work out that way. So I'd go behind her back and I would lie about it and I would continue to do it. And she called me out on it again. And I made her a promise that I would never do it again. This was right before we got married, that I'd stop. I would be done by the time we got married. I promise you. And to just go back a little bit, there was, I had some dental work done while we were still engaged. So this is like 2013-ish, I would say. And they gave me a bunch of Percocet. And
Oh,
I had taken painkillers before here or there, but they gave me a bunch of Percocet. And when they did that, I didn't do any coke for those couple of days because I was taking the Percocet, and I was afraid to mix things. I did have this. I didn't want to die. It didn't. I wanted to keep going, so I didn't do coke for those couple of days, and I really enjoyed now. Listen, I wasn't taking the 10 milligrams that they told me to, or the 5 milligrams they told me to. I was taking a handful because I'm like, well, I'm a big guy. I take extra Tylenol and I do all this much.
oh, Rit.
So the first night they gave to me, I think I popped like 6 or 7, and I caught a totally different high than I was used to. Cocaine, you're all the way up here. Opioids and painkillers, you're down here. It's a low. Now, there's other people have different reactions. That's who I am. And I, sickly, because I'm an addict, enjoyed it. So now we fast forward to me promising my wife I'll never do it again. We get married, it's over. Well, the night before we got married, I was up all night doing it like an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And I have nightmares at night sometimes about getting, obviously nothing happened, but getting arrested the night before my wedding because I'm literally hanging out in town doing it. Just these things keep me up. But I quit the 15th. We get married October 11th, 2014. I have never touched it since that day. And we went straight on our honeymoon, and it was a little rough. I was very moody, fidgety, whatnot. We got back, and I needed something. I thought I needed something. So the only thing I could think to do, because I didn't want to break my promise, was, well, I liked that high from painkillers. So I contacted a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and I got some painkillers from him, and and strong ones. I'm talking 30 milligram Oxycontins. And I took like 3 of those and was out of my mind, just laying in bed, nodding out terribly. And the sick part of addiction, loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was my new vice. I was going through, it was like about a $300 a day habit in pills. That just was, I mean, I thought the Coke addiction and spending money on Coke was bad. Pills is way, way worse. I mean, they're both fucking horrible. Nobody should do them. But yeah, so then I went from that extreme right into this extreme in the blink of an eye.
The pills are a lot easier too to get, right? Or no?
At that time, yeah. At that time, it was so simple to get. I mean, prescriptions were tough. Like I'm probably blacklisted on multiple doctors' offices because I was jumping doctors to try to get more and more, and it just wasn't working out. So then I found a guy that would sell them to me, and I mean, dude, they're like where I was getting them. I mean, they were like $40 a pop.
Wow.
And I could go through 6, 7 of them a night.
Just because it was a different high or
it
low.
it was a high that's a low. Yeah. For me, it was, but you're a zombie. I mean, when I tell you zombie, like my thing was I would not do anything all day. I'd work all day. I worked 2 jobs at the time too. So I would not do anything all day. And if I didn't have to go to my second job, I'd rush home and I'd start taking pills. And I always had an excuse of why I had to go lay down. My back is killing me, or I have a headache, or I don't feel good. So I wasn't around. My wife and I are newlyweds. I was not around. I just would go straight to bed, sneak a couple of my pills, try not to fall asleep because did my thing, chain smoke cigarettes back and forth, inside, outside. I would do that till about 4 a.m. Finally let myself go to sleep, get up at 5:30, drive to work, be pill sick all day long. Just literally, there was a trailer behind our building that I would just go behind and vomit 3 to 4 times a day. And this is living. This is living for me. This is at no point do I sit here and go, oh yeah, this is horrible. I shouldn't do this anymore. My dumbass was like, oh, when's he coming with more?
Wow. And nobody was up to the wiser?
It's one of the, so
I mean, somebody had to have. I mean,
my wife knew something was up, and there's zero blame and there's zero. I couldn't imagine being in her shoes, but she says it best. Like, I would just convince myself that you were not feeling good all the time, or that you were depressed, or that something else was going on, because I didn't want to believe that this was true. I distanced myself from other people. And I put a great facade on around family members to try to not let them know that anything was going on. But between the money disappearing, mood swings, the way that I changed. I mean, the person that my family knew was dead and gone. I was basically a different person.
Wow.
So there was an inkling of an idea, but I guess it's one of those things where, I don't know what they would think, but it's not on them. I think you probably try to think like, no, my kid's not doing it. No, my parents have discussed it now that they've had the conversation. Like, you think he's doing drugs?
Right.
But I was an adult. I didn't live home. I had my own place,
Yeah. See, and did you or know anybody that ever do that? What Wendy is saying? A guy offered me money to go to his doctor.
No, not me myself. We all knew there was a doctor. There was one doc. Well, there was a lot of doctors, but there was one in particular that would he'd write you a script no matter what. It wasn't anything big. It was like Percocet, like just baby stuff. Like well to an addict, baby stuff.
Right.
But he came in handy when you needed him, and he was kind of a later. Came in handy a lot more later. But my thing was on the streets. Like it was just easier for me to get it on the streets, and I didn't care what I was paying because
Right.
I needed to. I thought I needed to, but I wanted to have that feeling, and was more afraid of losing that because if you go to a doctor, they could start looking into things where on the streets your drug dealer just wants your money and that's it.
Absolutely. They don't care about your health.
No, and that's the thing, man. They treat you like a friend. Oh yeah, come on, hang out.
Hmm.
Worst thing ever.
Oh, I know. I know. So what withdrawals or setbacks do you or did you have?
Well, withdrawals were a nightmare.
Nightmares?
Yeah. So, I mean, to avoid them, so I had to have a surgery that I needed to have, and I
Hmm.
knew I couldn't have the surgery with that much of a narcotic in my system because I did have a prescription for a very low dosage of 5 or 10 milligrams,
Hmm.
and you could tell how much is in somebody's body. So I was petrified. So I around like 2016, I had to have the surgery later in 2016. So about a month or two before then, I stopped using street pills and was only taking my prescription. And which it kind of messed me up a little bit more because I'd have like slight withdrawals with that, but they
Hmm.
weren't horrible. And I was still keeping it in my system and I could go have the surgery that I needed and it would have been fine.
Hmm.
Have the surgery goes awry, they botched it, and I was in a ton of pain and they just fed me. Now they didn't know I had a problem because I kept that from everybody. So they
Yeah.
just like fed me the heaviest narcotics they could, and I was right back into it. And then when I finally came down to it, where it was 2 days without anything, I couldn't get a hold of any of my dealers. Found out later on one of them went to jail
Wow.
because he had sold fentanyl. And
That's crazy right there. That stuff right there.
scary. Looking at it now, like whoever was watching over me, thank you. But I had 2 days where I couldn't get anything, and I was just getting aggressive. I never would physically touch my wife or any woman for that matter, but I threw a fan across the room. I said things to her that nobody should ever say to anybody because I was just going through it. And they called and got me into a detox.
Hmm.
So the 2 days of the withdrawals before that were horrible. Your whole body just twitches uncontrollably. You sweat, you're freezing, you're sweating, you're puking, you're kicking. I mean, like all the time, uncontrollable shakes and just the mental, like I was ready to, I was gonna off myself. I was done. I didn't want to live like this. I would rather be gone than live without being high. That's the way that an addict's brain worked. And I'm
Right.
telling you, like, had it planned out how I was going to do it, the whole nine, ready to go. I went and lay down in my bed, and my son, my oldest son, who's now 5, was in the bed that night and just rolled over and he put his hand on me. And I was like,
Awesome.
I need to be here for him. And I looked over and I said to my wife, okay, I'll go. And I came to my parents that night. My dad took me in the next day. Now, mind you, I'm 2 days without nothing, right? So
Right.
here I think I am going into this facility. And the first thing they did was get me high as a kite. That's the first thing they do because we didn't know this. You
Wow.
can die from withdrawals if you try to do it on your own.
Yeah. Oh
Just
yeah.
so, yeah. So now, I went 2 days with withdrawals, and usually the second and third day is the worst. To being in this hospital, hooked up to an IV, getting dilaudid, and feeling like $1 million again.
Wow. Holy shit. That's crazy because yeah, I knew that if your body is s- dependent on this for so long, I knew that if you immediately stopped it, then there was going to be an issue. I
Yeah,
mean, you can cardiac arrest, all
yeah,
that crap.
Yeah,
And
that's exactly what they told us, and that was scary.
yeah,
Um,
because you have a kid, and that was your light switch. That
mhm.
was the day that you the way I'm just going to put it is that was the day you killed yourself, because that was your turning point.
In a way, yes. Um,
You
an
killed
ad
the old you.
an addict's mind is fucked up, dude. Like
Yeah.
it's you. My initial thought was, okay, yeah, I didn't want. I no longer wanted to off myself. I didn't not wanted to leave this world. Um,
Yeah.
But the sick part of your brain goes, all right, I'll go into detox. I'll do whatever they tell me to. And when I get back out, I'll just do it on a lower level. That's what I'm thinking. Like I can maintain a lower level of this when I get out.
Mm,
Because that's what's still going through your brain. Um it it didn't, thank God.
right.
But yeah, that's like I wasn't I still, even going to into the hospital to get detox, I wasn't to myself, I wasn't done. I was not done.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wow, dude. Yeah, because I dated a girl. I dated a woman, not a girl. I dated a woman, and she was an alcoholic, and my job, I couldn't. I there was no way I could help her. And looking back on it, it's gut wrenching on my end,
mhm.
because I knew how bad she had it. I cared for this woman deeply. I loved her so fucking much, but to see this monkey on her back, and not being able to help, and that was my downfall. But my job was, I was a sales rep, and I had to travel, like, I was out
Sure.
of town every single week. I was from Oklahoma to Arkansas, not knowing that when I was coming home, she was intoxicated. And then finally it dawned on me that, wow, that we woke up one morning, or I woke up one morning to make her coffee, did not know she was awake all night.
Oh wow.
So she was eating on her favorite candies, which was a cinnamon flavored candy. And that cinnamon flavored candy, I didn't really put two and two together, because growing up we called it cinnamon or big red. Now they call it Fireball.
Oh.
So that was her drink of choice. And so I made her coffee that morning, and then when I gave it to her, of course, it tasted funny.
Mhm.
So I mean, I don't know what her mind went to that, but I ended up drinking her coffee anyway. However, it got to the point where she was so intoxicated that I would come home from doing, before I was going into being a police officer, I was just filling out the applications, and I would come home from a ride along, and my anxiety would shoot through the roof, because I didn't know she
Yeah.
wasn't answering her phone. I didn't know anything. So I'd get home, and I'd have to put a mirror up to her mouth, just so I can see the fog to know that she was breathing. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
brutal for me. And then when we broke up, um, and then later on being told that I was part of her reason of being an alcoholic, and I was like, so
That's that's an addict, man. We find ways to blame everybody but us. And you, dude, like you touch on a great point, because like uh, uh, my wife, the shit that I put her through, the verbal abuse, because you're just manipulating. The same thing she tells me now. There were nights where I would stop breathing in my sleep, and she would have to look over
mhm,
um and make sure I was alive.
mhm,
The shit that a spouse or a partner goes through, the spouse or the partner of an addict has it horrible. And in the time of recovery, everyone's so focused on the addict getting clean that often the spouse or the partner, I think, is forgotten. And
mhm, yeah,
and to be blamed, that sucks, dude. That
yeah.
sucks.
I mean, looking back now, I know I wasn't the 100% the reason. She had the addiction way before me. But I mean, it's like to this day, just from being with her and seeing what she went through, I barely even drink now.
Mm.
And everybody looks at, they don't look at me. They're like, "Oh, you're not drinking?" No, man, I just don't want a fucking beer, dude. I mean,
Smart, smarter choice.
yeah, don't fucking judge me. I'll drink the water. You can piss off.
Yeah,
But I mean, I'll enjoy a beer. I'll have a drink here and there. I don't go out to go get, lit or whatever the terms are nowadays for
yeah.
these young kids.
Wasted.
Wasted.
We're getting Patrick wasted.
Wasted. But I mean, it's, I'll still, like I said, I'll have a beer. I'll have this. I think I have like 3 or 4 jars of moonshine, and it's like, I sip on it here and there and I'm like, oh, this is great. But, when you're being told that, you're the reason, it was like, fucking what? No
Yeah. And you have to know in your heart that you were not. You can't even take any blame for it. As an addict, I blamed everybody and anything that I could for. I blamed my wife because she was pregnant, and I had to work 2 jobs and had a rough pregnancy where she was on bed rest. So me having to work 2 jobs caused me to have more back pain or to be more stressed. So I tried blaming. I blamed everybody. You blame everybody but yourself.
Right.
And then when you finally get clean, you realize it's on you, man.
Yeah.
There is nobody else to blame. And I could be wrong in this statement, and this is just my personal opinion, but I also don't. I find a problem when people try to blame a rough childhood or something along those lines, because at the end of the day, addiction is a disease. I made the choice to start it. You just never know that it's going to go to where it went. You always think it's not gonna. No, that's somebody else. The whole time I did anything, my thought process was always, well, I'm not doing heroin. That's how I could justify that I was fine. I'm not doing heroin.
And fuck around. That's another one, because if I'm not mistaken, I don't know what it was cut with, but I think now it's cut with fentanyl.
A lot of the times it is. These dealers are just cutting the shit with fentanyl and killing people left and right. Like I said, my dealer allegedly killed 2 people and is serving time. And I only know this because after later on down the road, the house that we had lived in at the time, the guy across the street from me was a cop and knew my car.
Wow.
Yeah, I know who you are. And I went, I don't know who you are. And then he mentioned my dealer's name. And I was like, I just want you to know I don't associate with that person anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and it's even if let's say you're clean and sober now, right? I mean, you're clean and sober now.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't even throw the word if. Let's say you're clean and sober now. If you ran with somebody that is still with the addictive behavior and the addictive, wouldn't you still be portrayed as like guilt by association?
Yeah, in a way, you have to be. Listen, you have to know. Me personally, I guess everybody's different. I would never suggest to anybody that is clean or in recovery to hang or associate with anybody that's using, because it's only going to lead to you going and slipping back into it.
You're gonna fall right back into the rat trap.
100%. I lost so many friends when I got clean because I didn't want to go out and party anymore or whatnot. They later kind of came back because like I said, I'm clean going on 5 years. November 1st would be 5 years.
Awesome.
I fucked up and thought that I was stronger than addiction because I never had a drinking problem, and associated that, I only had a drug problem. I could still have drinks from time to time. And for a good few years, I could have a weekend party and not drink for the rest of the week, or not drink for a month, or not drink for 2. And then that slowly changed to where I was drinking every single day, going through a case of Coors Banquet. Anybody that's been following me on TikTok from day one always knew I had a Coors Banquet in my hand. It was my thing. But what they didn't see was that when that case of Coors Banquet was gone, the bottle of bourbon started getting hit until 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I'd get a few hours of sleep. And then I was pouring some bourbon in my coffee and pouring vodka in my slushy during the day, and just started a whole new cycle of a new addiction because I'm an idiot that fast. And it's been 5 months as of yesterday that I haven't had a sip of alcohol.
Good
So,
job.
thank you.
Good job. Good job. That's something super fucking proud to be proud of. Period. I mean,
I,
I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
I appreciate it. It was the hardest. The hardest thing in the world was to call. It was a chain of events to look my wife in the eye, because
Mhm.
my wife went about it perfectly. She saw it getting out of hand and said something. And what did I do? I fought her. I fought her on it. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm only drinking a couple beers after work. In my head, I know that I'm way worse than what I'm telling her.
Right.
And then I know that here we go with these lies again. And then she's sitting me down and showing me a story of somebody admitting his addiction, and just looked up at her halfway through it and went, mm-hmm, yeah.
Mm.
And having to call my parents and tell them that I fucked up again
Mhm.
was one of the hardest things ever. And I love my family, my mom and my dad, my wife, my kids. I love everybody and their reaction to it. And I don't know why, because they never flipped out on me. They never yelled at me. They never disowned me for everything that I've done. They were the best support system, my parents, my wife. And they just said, you know what? You're doing the right thing. You're dealing with it. You're not trying to run from it. You're dealing with it. We got you. Whatever
Right.
you need. And they just went about it perfect. My wife went about it perfect. And I had a great support team to do it. And one of the things that I said I wanted to do this time around was have as many eyes on me as possible. Nacho, brother, you know how much I love you, my man. You are my brother from another mother, and I love that. I love that man. Um, I wanted eyes on me. I wanted, and I got comments. I posted a video explaining that I'm 4 years clean, went
Mhm.
into it now, and this was on day 1 of being sober. Day 1 that I'm an alcoholic,
Mhm.
and that I messed up. And somebody sent me a thing. They were like, "Why would you put that out there, man? Anybody could see that." And I said, "That's what I want. I
Mhm.
want everyone that knows me or follows me or sees me on social media to see that, because I want them to call me out if I'm slipping. I want them to know if I'm doing okay, and I want them to be watching me, because I feel like the more people that I have eyes on me, the better chance I have of succeeding."
Mhm. Absolutely, dude. It's, believe it or not, when you and it really put my what I'm doing on my platform it completely into a different perspective. When you get a message that says you're literally saving lives, dude, that hits a little bit harder to home.
Hmm.
And Red, you are literally saving lives by every time you post a video, because there's somebody out there that knows your story. If they don't, they do now.
Hmm.
And you're literally saving people's lives because they probably look forward to that video of seeing you, with the thirst trap with Sherman. Um, you know, all the others, that are just freaking hilarious. And I can't think of a whole lot of them right now, but dude,
Everything I make is fucking no money, kid. I
it,
make
it
some
is,
terrible content.
it is, no, you don't. And it's amazing because, man, when you've got people that dude, they support you through and through.
Yeah.
And
Oh, it's
they've got you. It's got to give you goosebumps to go, you know what? I'm not just doing this for me. I'm also doing it for them, because this is my support. This is my way of giving back. And
I'd
dude,
say the most amazing thing to me is, and Luann said it here, that a stronger support system is important. I have my family, I have my wife, I have my little boys. They don't know what the hell is going on, but they
right,
look at me as their hero. I'm their dad.
bro, you
Um,
are Superman to those kids.
yeah, and I was my kryptonite was beating the shit out of me, but to be
Mhm.
able to be a part of social media and meet amazing people like yourself. Um, there's a group of friends that I had made early on in this, and a lot of them are here.
Mhm.
Um, and the support that they showed me, these are people that don't know me personally. We've only gotten to know each other through here, but their support and their messages and their checking in on me every single day and they're watching out for me to the point where I made a video not long ago that I had a whiskey glass in my hand. It was filled with iced coffee. I got messages from every one of them individually. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, it's iced coffee. I was in a club for the video, so I want, and
Right.
the support and the love that I receive from these people, and you guys know exactly who you are, has helped me throughout all this so much. So you take that from these in reality strangers that have
Mhm.
become family
Yeah.
to your actual family that's here, and you put that all together, and
Yeah.
it's just like I can't fuck up anymore.
No, dude.
I
No,
can't fucking
not at
uh
all.
Sue, absolutely, Sue. I enjoy talking about it. I've always said I think I could help others. I'm not very good at helping myself, but I'm okay
I'm
at
not
helping others.
either. I'm not either because it's and I know this is a touchy subject. I really do because like I said, man, you're pushing yourself to be better than you were yesterday. Your tomorrow is always, and I've said this a million times, your tomorrow is always better than your yesterday.
Mhm.
And you just keep going forward. And with that, now you've got the oddcast. Now, I mean, dude, you're doing fabulous things and you're it's just going up. And I know you have an end game. There
Yeah.
has to be an not even necessarily the end. It's another level. We'll say it like another tier on the Red Rich
Oh yeah.
level of survival. There's another tier. There's a goal. I'm gonna go achieve it. Boom, you got that tier.
Yeah. Oh, this is just the beginning for me. Um, I spent so many years watching life as a spectator that now clean, having a clear mind. I love
Mhm.
you with all my heart. Watching so many years as a spectator and not living life to now being sober, to now being clean. And I just said, I'm done with the excuses. I'm done with the yeah, but that's not going to happen thing. It'd be cool if it did. To the no, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And me and coworker of mine said we're gonna start a podcast. Something
Mhm.
that I always wanted to do. He was like, "Yeah, I'm in. Let's do it." He had a busy schedule. We were fortunate enough to bring Piper along,
Mhm.
and me and her have just continued to take it to the next level. We're
Mhm.
not even close to being done. We've got Nacho and Vela as part of the show now.
I know it.
Um,
I
guys like you,
tuned
yeah,
in.
guys like you, guys like Nick and girls like Jess and what they're doing and seeing
Mhm.
this community and your guys' kind words always mean the most. I may not be able to react to them the best way because I do get like embarrassed like over a
Yeah,
compliment,
same.
but it's just cool to be able to say, wow, like a lot of people probably would have written me off at some point, and I'm doing something now, and I'm going to continue to do something.
Absolutely. And it's exactly like Luann says, if you can find another outlet, art, music, writing, anything to help you on your journey, just do it.
Yeah,
Because again, we only have one life.
yeah,
And if what makes you happy is TikTok videos, dude, from 15 seconds to a minute video, then so be it.
yeah.
Go make that video, go make somebody laugh, go give that content to somebody that's probably struggling that has not told you shit.
Mhm.
Because I got I got one where the video I got tagged in a video and I'm sure you've heard the video where it says like tag someone that note that they've saved your life without telling them that they've saved your life.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yep.
And I got tagged in a video and it gave me the biggest chills because I had no idea.
Oh, it's amazing.
I had no clue. And it's very humbling
Yeah, for sure.
to the point, to you kind of go, okay, well, because guess who is not going to fuck up?
Yeah. Well,
It's
when someone puts that responsibility on you and it becomes support of a kind of a responsibility, it's amazing. You guys all know I have a great relationship with Daniel G. Garza, the Card Divo. He's part of the Oddcast with his horoscopes.
absolutely.
I met him through a DM. He had sent me the most. sweetest inspirational message I've ever gotten. His mom had just passed. He was going through a hard time. Couldn't find a smile. Couldn't laugh. Thank you,
Mhm.
Nick. I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah.
And said he found his smile by watching my videos again. And I instantly followed him back and thanked him. And we built this relationship. And now he's a huge part of my life. And I owe him a lot because I may have been clean and I may have been sober, or I am clean and sober, but I still wasn't okay. I was
Right.
still going through a lot emotionally, internally, and still had anger issues, still had frustration, still not able to let my past go. Other people have forgiven me for it and have moved forward, but I wasn't.
Mhm.
And a session with him, and this is not a plug or an ad or anything like that, but I did. I paid for a session with him. And since that day, I have
Mhm.
just found this peace that I've been looking for. And I truly, whether it's Daniel, it should be Daniel, or anybody else, if you could find, doesn't have to be a religious thing. It doesn't have.
No.
He's a spiritual advisor, but it's not in the form of any type of religion. It's your spirit.
Mhm.
I urge anybody to try to find something like that if you are going through anything.
An
And if
outlet.
yeah, something and he's been through it. He's in recovery. Daniel's an amazing person, and I thank him for everything that he's done for me and my family because I'm an open guy. My marriage was on the rocks, and it was a lot because of me. I'm going to say way more than 50% because of me. And I think he saved that. He kind of saved me
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah, that's a good woman. That's a damn good woman because there's a lot of people that nowadays they would have bounced at the drop of a dime.
Oh, she had every right to leave. My mother, who I
Mhm.
love and I agree with, told her, "You gotta leave him. You gotta leave him.
Mm.
You can't keep putting it." And she was 100% right. And Ayla should have left multiple times, and she stuck by my side through it all, through everything I put her through every horrible thing I ever said to her, to everything. And I made her a promise 5 months ago that I would fix it and I would make it right. And it took 5 months, but I think I finally am starting to fix it and make it right.
Kick ass.
And I love her. I love the person that she is. I love her for not giving up on me. And I know she was here for a little bit, but this is not easy for her either because she lived through probably a lot of stuff that I'm forgetting or a lot of stuff that hasn't been mentioned. So she's been through hell and hell and back, and I've put her through a lot. And she's a fighter, and she's a great, amazing support system.
That's good. That's damn good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed or not, but on my arm, I literally have a tattoo. It's of an arrow,
Okay.
and it goes in the direction of my hand, right? So it's going forward.
Mhm.
And the arrow, basically the spine of the arrow or the backbone or whatever, I don't know. I'm not an archer and I don't care to be. So the line, the MIG line, it says warrior. Now in the middle of it, there's I got this. I'm not used to this camera. This
Everything's
is
backwards. Yeah.
all
Yep.
jacked up.
Yeah.
So son of a bitch. Look. So that's a circle. To me, that's my circle of life.
Oh
That's
wow.
so this arrow means that I can go backwards to a point like a bow. You go
Mhm.
back to be released to go forward. So when you go forward, it's until something stops, right? Until the arrow hits your target or whatever.
Mhm.
So that right there is that I'm a warrior of my own life, and then I proceed to go forward because to me
That's
there's
deep.
to me there's two types of people that progress and the people that regress. Now,
Mhm.
I'm sure it's going to change as I get older. Everything changes, people change, and
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer of people changing. Even in law enforcement, people change.
Yeah.
Um, but that life you're going forward, brother. You just keep going forward, and don't use the past as a lesson. Don't use it as like a leech or whatever they don't
Mhm.
don't look at that, you know,
Yeah.
you look at that as like, you know what, that was my lesson. Next day, kick ass. Next day, kick even more ass. Next day. And what you're doing is you're kicking ass, period.
I appreciate that.
No problem. And I'm gonna keep telling you that because even though you don't need to hear it all the time, you kind of need to hear it all the time because you literally have watching your show, and I did a lot of TikTok lives, and I thought, man, this is actually pretty fun. I really enjoy doing these lives. And then I got tuned in with you from Nick and Clinton, and I can't remember who all else. There were so many people that were like, oh my God, you know.
Yeah.
So I went and checked you out, and not like that, but I mean, you know, whatever. I checked you
Look
out.
at this fucking sweater,
I mean,
bro.
bro, look at the fuck.
Look
Dust
at
your.
this. My hair. That's actually it's either dandruff or lice. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, but
We're gonna go with dandruff. So I mean, you got the drip. But I mean, you've basically paved the way for myself. I can't really speak on behalf of Nick, but you've definitely paved the way for me to actually do something to this caliber. And my man, I applaud you for that. You've paved the way for me. I look up to your podcast. I look up to you. I'm like, wow, this guy's really kicking ass. And I mean, you just keep doing it. You keep doing it. And I don't, you know what, Jess? I don't give a shit what you say. Y'all can say it's a bromance.
She gets so mad. She gets mad at with Nick, with Nacho, with you. It's like, hey, listen, I love my dudes. I can't tell you what that means to me. It genuinely, like, it warms the shit in my heart because I don't think much of. I'm proud of what I've achieved, and I'm proud of what I was able to overcome with the help of so many people. But like, I never look at myself like I'm anything. You know what I mean? Like, I consider myself just pushing and trying really hard. So to hear that, or to know that like I influenced anybody to do anything in a positive light, because I used to influence people to do some stupid shit. It truly just means the world to me, and I can't thank you enough for saying that,
dude. It's I can't even thank you. That's the thing. I mean, your story has been, you know, very very touching, because I mean, you spoke on behalf of your kid. You spoke on behalf. You've got 2 kids, right? 3 and 5. So
yeah,
you
3. 5 and 2.
5 and 2. So I mean, dude, you've got to be there. You got to be the super dad, bro. You've got to be the car mechanic. You got to be the plumber. You got to be the electrician, the drywall expertise.
I mean, repaired some of it, so.
I mean, and you just keep going forward. And I mean, and that's. Do you think that the Oddcast, doing the Oddcast and steps like that, do you think that's also helped you kind of stay busy?
Oh, for sure. For sure. And it kind of brings up another point, which is something I definitely wanted to say, is like, especially somebody that's an addict, that was addicted to drugs or anything for that, but be careful with the social media, not just you, but anybody that is making content, because I've been addicted to cocaine. I've been addicted to pills. I'm still addicted to nicotine. I've been addicted to alcohol. I've been addicted to social media. Like, and it can overrun your life the same way. So if you're somebody that is either just coming out of a different addiction, whatever it might be, TikTok or podcasting or whatever is definitely a way to clear your mind, and escape and not think about the other shit. But it could also become your new addiction and can hurt people just as much. And I did that. I did that to where I put stuff like this before anybody else. Golf can be addicting. Anything, but just because I got addicted to the gym. I understand I don't look like I do now, but you know, there was a point where I was just addicted to the gym. It's all I did was go to the gym twice a day, 3 times a day, every single day, no breaks. That became it. I had to step away from that because I didn't care about anything else besides the gym. Social media did that. I was up all night watching videos. I was always talking about making content. I made content instead of spending time with my kids, instead of spending time with my wife. I'd be at a family function and all I did was on my phone. Still pretty guilty of that. I think everybody is as a society. But over the last month or so, and again, this is a big thank you to Daniel, I've realized there's just so much more in front of you than this, and this podcasting is a dream of mine, radio broadcasting in general.
Dude, you were for this, believe it or not.
Oh man, I get so like weird when people say that, but it means the world because it's a dream. I grew up loving Howard Stern and Opie and Anthony, and that's all I wanted to do was be like a shock jock. And it's funny because I don't have a shock jock type show.
Here I
am. It's just, yeah, honestly, I mean, not to get off subject, bro, I applaud you for what you do and having serious topics and serious manners. There's a lot of us out there that are making these shows that's humor and entertainment or politics or whatever they're doing. There's not a lot touching on the subjects that you're touching on, and you're helping a lot of people. And I truly do applaud you for what you're doing.
I appreciate it.
100%, and keep doing it because you're helping people every single day. But yeah, just be careful, man. To anybody, it's fun, and I want to make a career out of this. I would love one day to be the next. I would love for one day people to talk about me the way that Joe Rogan has spoke about. Correct. I would love one day for the names, Red and Piper, Nacho and Vela, the Oddcast to be a thing that everybody knows. Did you catch that episode of the Oddcast? That's the dream. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm going after, and I'm not going to stop until it happens.
And you've got it. You've got the drive for it.
I got the best team with me. I
don't know, man. My team's pretty fucking legit.
You have a solid team, but I couldn't do shit without them.
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I love every bit of it. I love every bit of it. The support, the team, the effort, the team effort. Okay, there's papers here with questions, with statements. There's statistics. I mean, I didn't do all of this. It's everybody that's helped me because I also believe in what I believe in, just like we believe in what you're believing in. So, bro, we're all here for you. I mean, there's no matter what.
I appreciate that.
Kick ass, dude.
I'm gonna keep trying on, man. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm not.
Get your show. I want to be on your, when you get on the airwaves and you're like fuck, dude. If you're like fucking David Letterman, you better invite a lot of people from your TikTok days, and you'd be like, so there's this guy, Vanilla Gorilla, I'm kind of scared of. He's kind of edgy. So I'm gonna bring him out. Vanilla Gorilla, come on out.
Listen, I give you my word. This is how it goes. If I ever become the new host of the Tonight Show or the next Howard Stern, the first thing I'm going to do is go, who the fuck is Vanilla Gorilla? No, I'm gonna. He'll never know me. I didn't know any of you. I did that. No, I'm only kidding.
I'm gonna keep this video as proof.
Yeah, right. No, man, you said it best. Your support system with what you're doing, my support system with this is equally as important as having a support system with addiction.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
The phone is definitely an addiction, because what I've also noticed, okay, and this is just going out. I mean, you could go out. So there was a lot of people that all they would do is just sit here like this.
Guilty.
And same. And what are they doing? They're either playing games. They're not tending to their flock of kids. They're not doing anything. So literally, as kids are growing up, this is their babysitter.
Yeah.
Guilty.
You know how many times like my kids are driving me nuts, and I'm like, just go get the iPad. Just go get the iPads, watch the iPads, and then it's like, oh shit, we've created this monster where they want to be on it 24/7, and it's hard for me to tell them not to. I've literally sat like this, okay? I've literally in my chair going, that's enough. You've been on the iPad for way too long, as I'm scrolling through TikToks or Reels.
That's what you preach.
Yeah, like it's just gotten so bad. My wife and I, I'm way worse than she is, and I always try to be there to respond to everybody, but I've started to realize, no, I need to be here, not there.
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
what's way more important.
Matt, we all love you, bro.
Yes, brother. You know we do.
Not
8
being
years.
ignored. I'm working on 23 viewers watching this, keeping track of red plus the comment section, and it's really hard when this thing starts moving. So
It's right. I told you when we first met and you first started this thing up, I was like, have fun, bro, because you'll get lost just trying to keep up with sometimes the comments and
mhm,
it can get to
paying
be
attention,
it
paying
can
attention.
be a lot, a lot. That's why I'm so thankful for Piper because there's times where I know I've gotten lost and I'm like, and she'll jump in. I'm like, oh, thank you, because I have no idea what they just said.
I know. It's definitely this is definitely a different thing. I decided to do this because I mean, I don't know if you've checked out the link trees yet or lately, but they've actually kind of changed it up. And so when you click on the link tree, especially in TikTok, it immediately goes to like a white screen. It says you're this might not be on a protected server or something.
Oh, mine
And
doesn't do that.
okay, because mine did, and I clicked the bottom of it, like proceed anyway, and I was like, well, yeah, it's mine. I'm gonna proceed. So, and then it just popped up. But like the whole platform, there's the substance abuse, there's mental health awareness, there's the veterans crisis.
Mm.
There's so much that I believe that 2020, especially 2020, has really fucked up the human race.
Big
And
time.
and when you've got so many people that are stuck at home and all they want to do is just feel better because they can't go out and mingle, they start drinking, they start smoking, they start doing anything and everything to keep their mind sane. And then you've got kids running around with the phones doing this all the time. And
Yep.
dude, it's
It's
it's it's a vicious cycle, and 2020 fucked it up.
2020 was, listen, I'll never blame anything for my and for anybody. This is just pink lemonade, swear to you. I'll never blame anybody, but yes, I was
I was
working.
the fuck that
Actually, it's watermelon pink lemonade. Thanks, Dad.
was.
Pinky's up out of my plastic cup. Um, but yeah, people were. I worked throughout the whole thing. My wife was furloughed because her company had shut down, but I got deemed essential. I don't know how. And yeah, because we were under so much stress at work that it was just when you talk to anybody, it's like, hey, what are you doing tonight? I'm going home and getting plastered. Well, me too. And then you jump onto TikTok and you see everybody making videos and joking about all we do is drink. I had made a joke very early on. I said, well, the one good thing about, you know, quarantine, we can't see each other all the time, but I know we're all going to get to hang out in AA because of the way we're
Oh
all
yeah,
drinking.
we should all do a TikTok and fucking AA.
That yeah. Oh yeah, we'll do it together. But that's all you scroll through and it was just people like, oh, another day of quarantine, another bottle of this, another day of quarantine. Oh, mommy drinks too much. And I'm not putting any of those people down. Those videos are funny. I still find those videos funny. But there is a
But
sad truth to it.
it's the sad truth and it's the sad reality to it because dude, it's a fact.
Mhm.
It's a fact. And now when some of the people that I actually see and I go into their lives, especially on TikTok, if I go into their lives, what are they drinking?
Oh yeah.
They're
I
drinking something.
always I
Be
always had a banquet in my hand. Always had
um,
a banquet in my hand. That's what I was known for. The burp game started because I was plastered. And I go back now and I've deleted videos that did well because I look at myself and I'm like, you look
um,
like shit. Your words are slurred. You just look like a mess. And
mm,
I deleted those. I didn't want to see myself like that. And yeah, you need to see yourself like that. I didn't delete every video that I had a beer in, every picture that I had a beer in, because I would delete it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I had one when my kid was born, like, hey, cheers. But it's just one of those things that it's everywhere. You're consistently seeing it. It is glorified.
yeah.
It's
And so is
absolutely
we.
glorified. What's that? Yeah,
medicinal.
yeah. I mean, it's becoming legal everywhere. I mean, I have my own stance and my own viewpoint on that, and that's I'm not gonna. I don't have to go into it, but you know,
Don't touch it.
yeah, it's just it's one of those things that when you glorify anything to a younger audience or even to an older audience, because we can be manipulated very just as much as a child can.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
it's very simple. I mean, I know you're a big gun guy. You love guns. You look in a catalog and you see something that you like. What do? You want it. I
look at
want
my
that.
shirt.
Same way, if you watch videos of guys shooting and you see a
Mhm.
gun that I got to have that one. We can easily be manipulated. So the same thing when we're watching people that are going through a pandemic like we are and stuck at home, having a great time drinking, and we might
Mhm.
be sitting back going, "I'm not having a good time," but they are. Well, I should probably start drinking like they are. Maybe that's what we're missing.
Huge influence.
Yeah.
It's a huge influence, just like you said, man. And it's amazing how it just see alcohol addiction is up 61% because of COVID, because everybody
Oh
was
yeah.
stuck at home.
I believe the beer
And
distributors were. Look at the way we celebrate. Well, I don't know about you guys, but in New York, there was a conversation of shutting down liquor stores, making them non-essential. And we went insane. Like, you can't fucking do this to us. And they kept them
right,
essential. And the lines going into the liquor store for the 2 days coming up to the idea that it might be shut down was in my shopping center of my store, there's a liquor store. When I tell you that the line went around the whole building, down this way, it looked like the lines to go vote.
yeah. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
That's nuts. Jess has a question.
Yeah. How can you support an addict when they're not ready to admit they have dependency issues? It's a tough one. I almost feel like that would be a better question for like my wife or but coming from being on the other side of it is be stern about it. You gotta it's gotta become no holds bars. You're not like you're not deciding with them who's gonna do the dishes or who's gonna take the garbage out, where you could just cave and give in. Don't give in. Threaten them with everything that you can threaten them with. Sometimes a threat goes a long way. I'm leaving. I'm not gonna, especially for somebody that's got kids. And don't get me wrong, there are some people that when they're addicted, they don't give a shit. They'll, oh, you guys are gonna go? More time for me to do whatever I want to do.
Right.
But be strong about it and put your foot down and just make sure and push them. And some people will tell you that's the worst thing to do, that you can't push somebody because if you push them, you're gonna push them away and they're gonna run away. They might,
Mhm.
but they're gonna realize when they have nobody left and nobody to turn to that it's time to fix themselves.
See, and it's crazy to sit back and now and chit chat with you about all of this and do the whole Gorilla Lounge thing because I was asked a question, I believe like 2 years ago, why I decided to be in law enforcement. Why did I decide to do it? Why did I decide to try it? Why?
Mhm.
What was it? And the question was, the answer to that was because I wasn't there for a loved one who had an issue. So I figured if I can help one person as law enforcement, then if I can help one person, then I've actually done my job.
Mhm.
Now, there was a child, and I say child because he was 14. He might be like 16 now, but when he was 14 years old, he was running with a rough little group, self-proclaimed gangbanger, this, that, and the other. And I saw him walking home from school one day, and I was on patrol, and I picked him up, and I said, "Come on, jump in. We need to talk." And he says, "You want me to get in the back?" I said, "No, dude, you're gonna sit in the front. You don't need to sit in the back." So he jumped in. He's like, "Man, what's up?" So we chit chatted, and I told him that I was you. I was an asshole kid. I was a follower. I was
Mhm.
damn near um in a shitstorm of shitstorms. And I was that kid, and I told him that, and I said, "Here's the deal, dude." I was a little bit older though; I wasn't 14, but he didn't know that. He didn't need to, so he's probably going to know now. So anyway, I chit chatted with him, and I told him, and I said, "Here's the deal, dude. Once you hit 18 and you keep fucking up, I'm playing with you now, not anybody else." I said, and trust me, you don't want these silver bracelets on. And you don't want to run from me because I will catch you. And the kid about shit himself, and but has he changed? I don't think so. But I think for that glimpse of time, I think he thought about it like, oh shit.
He heard it. He heard it.
Hmm.
He may not have taken it in. I see my wife did comment
Yeah,
on
hold on.
one thing that she has there. And my wife's has a much more gentle approach. Don't get me wrong. She could be loud when she wants to be. Love you. But exactly like you said, I mean, we've all heard of scared straight, right? They take these kids and they put them in a prison and let them see what their future looks like. You can't. I mean, listen, you could take someone to a funeral parlor. You could take someone to a wake of somebody that just lost their child because of an overdose. I had lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 or 6 friends to drug overdoses. But again, my mentality was, well, I'm not doing heroin, so that's them, that's not me. But I my wife went through it. The only thing I could say is, like, for me, it was to hear her say, like, I don't know how much longer I could do this, was one of those scared straight moments. The idea of never seeing my son again, the idea of not coming home to my wife every day, didn't mean as much to me as getting high at that moment and forever. And it was so for me, that was kind of like my scared straight moment.
Same. Yeah. And dude, and it's I can't even explain it because I don't know what you went through. I know the other end. I know the side that your wife went through. And fortunately, I can't even say that. Unfortunately, I couldn't handle it. I could not help. So now I can. And this didn't dawn on me until recently. And that's where I was like, okay, it's like the Michael Jackson song. It's time to make a change.
Yeah.
Because we have a saying there's a lot of people in law enforcement. We have to get off the X. And X could be anything. So our X is if somebody's shooting at us, we're not going to stand there.
That would be smart.
We have to move. You either change to your environment or you die. So adapt or die.
That's pretty much exactly how it goes. And don't get me wrong, there's some people that just don't want to be helped. You can do everything that you can possibly do, and it's not that they're a lost cause, and it's not that they're never going to come around, but some people don't want to be helped. And then that's when I think you have to make the decision, like you did in yours. You had to walk away for your family. It was what was best. And you're gonna, coming from the addict, I'm gonna call you everything. I'm gonna blame, and I'm gonna blame you. Now I'm worse because you left. How could you leave me during these times?
Worse.
Now I'm gonna start doing this, or you know what? I'm gonna just do as much as I want till I die. Yeah, because now we have a new excuse to go ahead and keep going into this just downward progression. Because excuses to us are like hall passes. Just here you go. Here you go. There's a new one.
And what's crazy is that, and a lot of people don't understand that, is that you said it. Excuses are like hall passes. And people think that when you're in law enforcement, that we're just supposed to believe everybody because excuses are like hall passes. If we arrest somebody and we put them in handcuffs, first thing that comes out of their mouth 90% of the time is, I can't breathe now. So now, okay, you can't breathe. No, I'm having a heart attack. I'm having a seizure. Okay, we have to take them straight to the hospital first, get medically cleared, and then they go to jail.
Oh, geez.
So once they start playing that card, that's the route that we have to go. Now you're taking a police officer out of jurisdiction that might need one of us because we're babysitting at a hospital. And that's why a lot of people see that the cops are kind of like, they're a little bit more stern and they're like, yeah, whatever. Or they don't care. It's because, like you said, excuses are like hall passes. Everybody, we hear them all.
Oh yeah, and I had every single one of them. I can't even. Some of them I've forgotten. I mean, when it comes, especially when it came to money, the money stuff was like, God, I came up with some good ones. I think, and they were usually believable.
I'm going to go play craps with my friends. That's where all my
I lost so many wallets, and I lost. I had so much stolen from me, and oh God, it's just.
Oh yeah, man, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, you'll come up with whatever you can come up with to make yourself not be known of what you're doing to try to keep it hidden.
Yeah.
Anything.
Oh yeah. See, when they see, like Luann says, when they don't want the help, you then have to choose for yourself and not feel bad because you truly tried. And then, and with that, that's 100% accurate.
Oh, absolutely. If Ayla would have walked out and took our son, at that time we only had one, and left me to rot, that's on me, not her. I don't know how she did stay. Even after I got clean, I don't know how she stayed, because even though I wasn't doing drugs, I was still inside, just still wasn't alive. I was still dead. She said it to me tonight. She's like, I'm really, these last few months, I'm happy to have you back. You're back.
Dude, that's awesome.
And
I was going to say amazing and awesome at the same time, but that is,
yeah, it melted my heart. Again, I probably don't react like it did because I don't know how to react to shit, but it did, because it's like, I feel like I'm back. I feel like I'm alive again. I feel like I have a whole new life in front of me to do the right things and to start making up for the mistakes that I've made, and to not harp on them. And that's once again, to Daniel's thank you. Don't harp on them.
You can't.
They're in a closet somewhere. They're not. I didn't put them in the trash because you need them, but they're at the bottom of a closet somewhere. The door's closed. Every once in a while, if I'm starting to forget, how good I'm doing today, just go open that closet door up.
Yeah.
Take a peek inside and just take a look, because that's where you used to be, somewhere here. And even if you're only right here today, it's not there anymore. So you got to continue to give yourself that credit every single day. Don't harp on your past, because it's only going to eat you alive, and make you miserable, make you ornery, mad at the world, mad at yourself. If you're mad at if you're not loving yourself and you're mad at yourself, how can you expect other people to love you and not be upset with you?
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like, it's impossible. And it's been nice to find that again, and to be able to feel like my old self again.
That's awesome.
Just fatter.
Would you say that you gained more weight during Thanksgiving?
I'll tell you, this is the weirdest thing in the world, okay? Every single person that I know or that I hung out with that was doing the drugs that I was doing looked like this, okay? Me and Artie Lang, I didn't hang out with Artie Lang, but he's a famous comedian. I got fatter than ever. Like, that's legitimately, I'm pretty sure my mother said this. It might have been my father. We thought maybe you were on drugs, but you were gaining a lot of weight. So there was no way that you could have been. Meanwhile, I got fat as fuck while doing drugs, while doing cocaine. It's literally the model's diet, cocaine and nicotine, to get on the runway. And instead of getting on a runway, I was about to get in the tank with Shamu. I was huge. I was like 275 pounds at my max.
Wow.
I was a fat, huge, and not like a big, like you're like a big 260, whatever. No, dude. I was like that guy, like with the internet memes you see all the time, like with food covering them. Like that I got fat as fuck while doing drugs that should make me skinny.
Yeah. I gained a lot of weight in 2020 because my knee went out in March, right at the peak, right at the beginning of COVID. And I was at work when it happened. I tore my meniscus. And I had to wait for surgery. And let me tell you about my spiral down into depression. The March, okay, knee hurt. April, sat at home, did nothing. May, found surgery. No, May
Oh,
was found. Beginning of May was like found the MRI. Like they
okay.
want me to find the MRI, and I thought, why the fuck I gotta find it? That's your job. You want me to find it? So I found the MRI that would take me quick. Then I had my March, April. That was all in April. May I had my surgery. So, and then there was recovery. Now, did I get pain pills? Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Did I enjoy those pain pills? I can see why. Yes, I did. I took one. I can't remember the name of it. And it's totally irrelevant, but I had to break it in half to take them. But I took one time just completely out of the blue. Like I was oblivious to what was happening. I just took it and I was so lethargic, but
Mhm.
awake in a way. It was so weird. And then I chugged it with a Red Bull and
Oh,
I didn't know what I was doing. I was like,
Jesus.
I don't know if I should fall asleep or go run a fucking marathon because I was completely zoomed out of my mind. And I thought, okay, this is not happening. So I started eating half. So I just break them in half and I'd eat it. And my knee was killing me.
Mm.
And then it was, well, I have a feeling this is going south pretty quick.
Oh, and it can.
So I stopped. I just stopped eating them. And then I started taking something else. It was non-narcotic or whatever. And that was cool. And that helped, you know, and I was still taking it for a while. And I'm not taking anything now because I mean the knee, it's not 100%, but I'm also fatter than what I was when I started. So I have more weight.
Oh yeah, the weight on the bones is just bad. And I'll tell you one thing, and this is one thing that I used to argue with my wife about to be not true, but it's the truest thing in the world. Those painkillers that they are giving you, they're
Mhm.
not taking away the pain. They're masking the pain.
Masking it. They're covering it up.
It's just a Band-Aid that you eventually need to rip off. And if you don't rip off, it's going to be a lot harder to rip off the longer that it stays on.
Mhm.
I have a really bad back. I played baseball my whole life. I was a catcher. Go ahead, make your jokes, whatever you want. I have bad knees. I am overweight. It's not comfortable. I was using that as an excuse for taking the prescription of it. And in my head, it originally started like, well, I'm going to take these other ones to try to get rid of the pain. In reality, the only pain I was trying to get rid of was what I was living with myself, my own depression, anxiety, frustration with who I was as a person or where I am. That's the only pain that I was trying to take it for. And it didn't take away that pain. Sure,
Mhm.
for that night, I felt nothing. And when I tell you nothing, like nothing,
Mhm.
and I mean that emotionally, you know, I you could find out that your dog just died and you're so high that you don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just don't. You're so numb to the world. You're not numbing your back, you're not numbing your knee, you're not numbing your wrist, you're numbing your mind.
It's so weird. I'm telling you,
It
just the pain pill that I had, I was like,
y
what?
yeah. I used to watch documentaries and be like, nodding. And to this day, I mean, I remember when I finally got clean, I had to throw away so many shirts that I had burn holes in them because I would fall asleep outside with a cigarette. I remember the middle of winter one time I fell asleep for I don't know how long outside. It was like 10 degrees because I nodded out. Like
Mhm.
just shit like that. Just it's not, it's not worth it. It's not going to take away your back pain. It's not going to cure your back pain. It's not going to cure your knee pain. It's only going to lead down a road of hell. There are natural ways to heal your aches and your pains and your ailments. There are non-narcotic ways to do it. Find that venture first. Don't search right for the painkiller. I hate the word painkiller. It's
'Cause it
not a
doesn't.
it's not a fucking painkiller. It's not. They should really just rename them to like life changer or end of reality pills because that's all that it's doing is just it's ruining your life and it's certainly going to ruin everyone around yourself. There's people that can just take a couple when they get work done and then never take them again, and I applaud you.
Mhm.
I love you, mama.
That's
That's my
awesome.
mom.
That's awesome.
I have a great support system. I always have. They've never once made me feel like I was a fuck up. I tell myself that well, not anymore, but for too long I told myself I was a fuck up.
Yeah.
I made bad choices. I regret those choices. I regret the people that I hurt. I regret everything that I did.
Mhm.
God, do I regret the fucking money I spent. I probably could have bought a mansion by now.
Right. Right.
But yeah, it's just if you listen, if you something happens to you tomorrow and you have to go to the doctor, ask them for any other option besides a narcotic because it's a 50-50 shot. You're playing Russian roulette. You're either going to take it and stop taking it, or you're just going to put yourself on the start to a really, really bumpy road.
Yeah. I mean, I've literally sat in front of a mirror and looked at myself. I mean, and really just looked at my own eyes and went, all right, fuck up. It's time to change. It's something needs to change today because what you do today affects you tomorrow.
Yep.
So we need to do it now. What are you going to fucking do? And it was like, all right, done. And get out of that mindset, walk out and conquer the fucking world. And it was like, I'm not going to take any shit. I don't have to. If somebody calls me on the phone and starts running their fucking mouth at me because they don't like something I said, I don't have to listen to it. I can just hang up.
Yeah.
And it's and I know I just kind of went off the beated path, but if somebody needs help, to talk to, I know I have a support system. I know my support system is well executed, and I have it from here to here to here to here to here, all the way down. But there's times where I don't want to talk to people, and I'll look at myself and give me at least 30 minutes to myself, and I'll stare at myself in the mirror and be like, okay, fuck up. Let's do this.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing? How can we fix it? Oh, we can't? Well, then stop doing it. That's how you fix it.
Yeah. I mean, we're our own worst enemy, and we are our own biggest cheerleader when we want to be. The weirdest part about it is, yeah, when I was using, I would have those conversations. I'd look at myself with my beady little eyes because I was so messed up, and just ask myself, like, what are you doing? But then you convince yourself that what you're doing is not as bad as somebody else, and that again, that you could stop this whenever you want. In reality, no, you don't. And I'll be 100% upfront with you. I couldn't look myself in the mirror afterwards, and I'm being truthful. I brushed my teeth looking down. I couldn't stand the person I saw in the mirror. And I held on to what I've done and who I hurt for way too long. And now with a clear mind, clean, sober, it's nice to finally be able to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, yeah, man, you did this. You had a lot of help doing this, and you did this. Like, you overcame it. And if I could just say that to anybody, like right now, if you're going through it, or you know somebody that's going through it, or you're the spouse, whatever it might be, the person that they're looking at in the mirror is not them. It's not them. It's just a shell with a emotionless life inside of them who are screaming for help. You just can't hear it yet. They can't hear it. I was screaming for help to myself, and I couldn't hear it myself. But just know one day that the sun's going to come out, and that smile is going to come back, and the person that you fell in love with, or that you knew growing up, it's still inside there, and they'll be back. They'll come back.
Absolutely. Absolutely, dude. Man, it has been a great pleasure having you on the show tonight.
Oh, honor.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
This has definitely been an eye-opening and really good time to learn who you are and where you came from.
Yeah, for sure. I don't mind ever talking about it. I like to share the story, and like you said earlier, if it could help one person, then I really feel happy about that. I've said it before. I think I'm okay at helping other people, not so much myself. You guys, you know, if you know who I am, you know me. Yeah, okay, I have a good following on TikTok. My DMs are open. I'll talk
Mhm.
to anybody about anything you need, and it's kept private if that's what you want.
Same.
You're never going to be used as a video.
Exactly.
And I'm an insomniac, so they're always open. And if you're having a tough time, or you think somebody in your family might be having a tough time, I can't guarantee that I have the answers, but I've probably been where you are or there they are. And I'd be more than happy to talk to you and help you. And just keep your eyes open. If that's the one message I could send off to everybody, keep your
Yeah.
eyes open for the signs. Money problems. Depression is depression, but an extreme depression, a complete change in mood swings. Your whole skin changes,
Hmm.
your whole shell changes. Keep an eye out for those signs. And if you yourself are starting to feel like maybe you're going down this road, you know, you've been on the painkillers a little too long, even if they're prescribed and you're not buying them off the streets,
Hmm.
you know, keep an eye on what you're doing. Find other ways. There's other medicines out there.
Absolutely.
Um, there's other ways to get through what you're getting through,
Absolutely.
and people are only a phone call away. Believe me, you think you're alone, you're
You're
never
not.
alone.
No.
You never. I don't care who you are. You could sit here and I have nobody. You have somebody.
Mhm.
Everybody has some. You. It could be a stranger, but everybody will have somebody. And if you really truly think that there's absolutely nobody, I mean, look, he's got the number right there. There's a whole hotline of people that are ready to help you. So there's your somebody.
And, you know, and it, you're never alone. I think what it is that people feel like they're going to get judged.
Yeah.
100%. I think that's the bottom line because it's like nobody really wants to ask for the help.
It's also a fear. Don't get me
Hmm.
wrong, too. You know, not to keep going, but it's almost a fear of if I call this number or if I tell somebody that I think I have a problem, I might
Hmm.
have to go to rehab. I might have to stop. I don't know if I want to stop this. Can I stop this? Can I live without I can't go a day without being high. That
Hmm.
fear of not being able to get high is extremely, extremely, extremely scary. But I could tell you as somebody who went through those fears, God, is it so much more amazing
Hmm.
living life this way than getting you're not living life the other way, you're getting by. You're
Hmm.
just kind of, you know, laying around being a nothing.
Correct.
This feeling, this is life, this is living, watching my kids smile, watching my kids laugh, making my wife laugh, making strangers laugh on the internet. That's my family always having an open door for me anytime I want to pop on in.
Hmm.
That's living. That's the life. Not a little pill that makes your brain all foggy.
Correct. Correct. I mean, and I know some people don't have that massive or that big of a support system, but they have to understand that they're not alone. I don't, like you said earlier, I don't give a shit if you have to talk to a bum and he's not understanding a word of what you're saying because he is from another country and has
Mhm.
no clue. I don't care. As long as if people need to vent,
Yep.
they
Yeah.
just need to talk. It's like a pressure cooker, and we are like pressure cookers. And before long, sometimes they just explode. But they need to vent, and you have to vent it out because this is a real shit show. Because the fact is that when people go through a substance abuse, whether it be drugs or whether it be alcohol, whether it be the phone, you know, once the police get involved, it's pretty much game over.
Mhm.
And it gets involved again. And then they're like, oh, well, the cop is the bad guy. No, the cop is saving people from getting killed
Yeah.
because there's too many people that are DUI or DWI or whatever, whatnot. We have to administer Narcan if we get somebody that's ODing, and we have to go through. It's called a mental health course. You have one in one nostril, and you have the other going in the other nostril. Why? Because
Ugh.
it blocks the receptors into the brain,
Yeah.
and the person pops back. But if they could find the help prior to being, God, by all means, they need to get it. I mean, I love helping people out any way I can.
And you are, dude. You're this show is every topic you've had. This is your third episode, dude, and it's like, you know, you're killing it because you're you're just touching on subjects that people need to have discussions about. I watch your show, I watch the comments, I see the interaction, I see people releasing things that they've had held up, bottled up. And you know what? They might not be able to say it to a person face to face, but typing something out sometimes is a lot easier for them.
Exactly. And that's it's over there. And that's what, and that's what the whole thing behind Gorilla Lounge is that if you can't talk to me, you can't talk to anybody else, you don't want to communicate. If this show can help somebody out, regardless of the topic, if you just like coming in and watching the show and that gives you your every day to survive, then I will continue to do this show, period. Yeah. I'm not going anywhere. I don't plan on going anywhere. Nope. And that's just it. Welcome to the Gorilla Lounge. And, and the Gorilla Wear, believe it or not, dude, if people actually went in, I'm pretty sure they read it. And it says like a silverback gorilla is a protector and you are a protector, and that's just exactly, and I know vanilla gorilla, I know it's like an albino, blah, blah, blah. It just sounds cool and I liked it. So I don't care.
I can't even call you by your real name. I mean, I do the same thing with Nacho. I feel so bad, but like Nacho is legitimately one of my best fucking friends. I love the guy with all my heart. I think I've called him by his legal born name one time. Like I can't. And like with you, I call you Vanilla all the time. Like I don't. When I found out what your real name was, I was like, nah, it's fucking Vanilla. Like
yeah, no. And what's crazy is that you brought up one time. You were like, yeah, I remember you. You did a stitch or a duet, and I went, what, on the alter ego before we even met.
Yeah. You had done it with what was his name? The
Enoch.
Enoch, yeah, big buck teeth. I remember, like, I woke up in the morning and I forget what the video was.
Something about the 3 inches, and I was like, "Hey, bro, a woman can cut her hair and cut 3 inches off, and then it's a big deal. Don't worry, bro. 3-inch club, we got you."
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, listen, you cut 3 inches of hair off, it's a disaster. 3 inches of snow, people stop working. 3 inches of dick, you get laughed at. It's just not fair. Yeah. It's not okay.
No,
but
come on. That's going to be all about next month. So next month on the Gorilla Lounge, I've got guests already lined up. Well, they're not lined up yet.
We do a Little Dick Awareness Month. I could clear my schedule. What days is Thursday?
I'm gonna have to talk about this like every week because I have an issue as well. So let's just continue. But the whole month of February, I'm doing like I say but I know it's we. I'm doing a whole month of like relationship do's and don'ts, dating nowadays.
I can tell you all the don'ts. I can tell you every fucking don't if there's a don't, I've done it.
Right. Because I'm going to call them relationships because there's so many times that there's going to be a topic called relationships because I have some horror dating stories that I've been.
I can't wait to hear those.
and on a whole nother note, like I said in the very beginning of this show, we went from suicide to domestic violence, and there was a reason why we went that route is because we paid attention to the comments. Because once those comments started rolling in about my husband was doing this, my boyfriend did this, I did this, and I thought, okay, we need to do an episode about domestic. And I knew that was going to be a fucked up episode.
It was deep.
That was a tough one. And then we read the comments again, but that goes to show that you're not alone.
No.
So if we read your comments from the first episode, the second episode, and now this episode, you are being listened to. We hear you.
Oh, 100. I think that's a great thing that you guys are viewing in on that and doing that. And like you said, and like we were talking about earlier, you're not alone. And if you're sitting here and you think I am, well, guess what? How you doing? My name is Red Rich. Hey. My DMs are open. You're no longer alone. So that excuse is fucking over.
Yeah. And it has to be because I've said it on the past shows. We have to be better humans. I'm almost really disgusted with the way human activity has become,
Yeah.
and the rise of crime and the rise of people just hating on each other for no reason.
Yeah.
For no reason. None.
No,
What?
it's I know it's a totally different subject, but you sit here and you look at it, and I
Mhm,
link back to I'm old enough, you're old enough to remember 9/11.
mhm,
9/11, and I'm from New York. I live in New York. I'm on Long Island. I'm not near the city, but after 9/11, I've never seen any people come together as much as they came together. And I am not at all comparing this pandemic to 9/11, but I'm saying it's another disaster that our country is seeing. And this time we weren't together. We were
mm-mm,
so separated, and
mhm.
so just against each other. And you nailed it. Just be better to each other. Just
Just
be
act
there
right.
for people. It's amazing how much better it feels to make somebody smile than it does to make them cry.
Yeah, 100%. So it's like whenever you see me smile, I always have these lines in my eyes. Yeah, they're crow's feet, and I
It's
don't
because you're
care.
old as fuck. What do you want?
Yeah, but to get rid of these crow's feet, I have to do this, and then it gives more wrinkles up here. So it's like I'm in a catch 22. So I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore. Maybe Botox. Does anybody out there need me to? I need to get.
I could hook you up with something. I've never had it, but I could hook you up with somebody.
I probably want to get one of them people with the silicone that do the silicone for the muscles.
Oh,
Just
I'd love that
face
shit.
and be all jacked up in the face.
If you could just take some of this and put it like
Yeah.
here, that'd
Oh,
be
dude.
great.
I'm totally down to give women their breast enhancements from my fat.
I would love to be a part of that. I think
Just
that's a great,
take
great
the
contribution.
take the fat from me. You pay for it, I will give you as much fat as you want because I
I've
got
got
enough of it.
plenty of it here. You put a good group of us together. I'm not going to name names. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but you put a good group of us together, and we could make some big boobies. I'm just saying.
Bro, I'm down to shed off like 70 pounds. That's a whole person right there. That's like a 12-year-old boy. 70 pounds or however. I don't even know how old. I don't even know. Maybe it's a 9-year-old now. I don't.
I could tell you, yeah. If I mean, I could lose a good 210 is a good way for me. I mean, when I got too skinny, I looked sick. So I'd say 215, 210 would be good. But
Yeah.
again, you said you got heavy because of the pandemic. I got heavy and fat again because I fucking love Whoppers. Like
Oh,
I
yeah,
I
good.
love them. I
They
love
are
them.
good. Yeah. We have out here Del Rancho, and I'm pretty sure Nick knows about Del Rancho with the steak burgers. Those are pretty on point. Yeah, it's what is it like? I want to say chicken fried steak burgers is what it really is. And so, all right, I know we're completely off topic, but I don't
Yeah,
give a shit. Now we're talking about food. So the bun is like that big around, right? So everybody's that knows the bun, right? That's how big the bun is in retrospect of everything.
Fuck.
Okay. The burger is like that. It hangs off the side, and you're like,
I'm gonna need you to
you got a P.O. box?
no, you can have my home address for that one. I'll pay for the overnight on it. Tell me, how do I reheat this up perfectly? Because we don't
Yeah,
have shit. We got McDonald's, Burger King,
the
Wendy's,
basics.
Taco Bell, Checkers, and we just finally got a Sonic and a DQ. Finally.
Mm.
Finally.
That's the thing. You have like the
Oh, we got
basic.
Chick-fil-A too, or as I call it, God's chicken.
It is God's chicken. Hey, I'm gonna send you a picture later on, and you're gonna be like, "Oh shit!" And it's about God's chicken versus Popeye's chicken.
Oh, thank
And
God! I thought it was going to be a picture like Nacho sends me, and I do not want to see that.
no, it's not gonna be like that, man. I promise you. Maybe it's a 3-inch, but no, it's not. Oh man! All right, man. Thank you again.
Thank you, dude. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on and speak
No
to it.
problem.
Again, I genuinely meant it to your audience. My DMs are open.
Yeah,
You can
same.
message me anything that you need or that you might want. I'm here, and I thank you so much for having me on and allowing me to rant because I could just fucking go on and on and on. But
Yeah. No problem, dude. No problem, man. If you need to talk too, man, you've got my phone number. You've got we're we're on social media, bro. So
Yeah.
we can keep in touch. That's for sure.
Oh, 100%.
All right. Man, I really appreciate it, you guys. Now, everybody, I don't know if anybody knows or not, but this is Red Rich from the Oddcast with Miss Piper. Tune into their show every Wednesday night, 9, 8 Central. It's a funny show. Nacho, Average Dad is there. Vela is there. I mean, Daniel Garza, right?
Yep, Daniel G. Garza, Maddie Blackstock does some music
Yeah,
for us.
music.
Beer Bong John's going to be on this week.
Son of a bitch. You got him. Oh, you got him after the beard.
I got him after the beard, yeah, and I kind of
good.
glad I did because now he's this fucking sex symbol. So
Yeah. And then of course, every Tuesday night, you got Nick and Jess at the Backwoods Collective, 9, 8 Central. So you've got the Backwoods Collective, you've got the Oddcast, and then you've got the Gorilla Lounge. I mean, it's back to back to back. Now, I have not seen Daniel's show, and that's on what day is his show's on?
Daniel has a few different shows. So I'm actually going to be a guest on Daniel's show. He has one show called Put It Together Conversations. That's on Saturdays. He does 2 every Saturday. He does he's on the West Coast. So again, if anybody watched my show last night, I don't know time zones, but I do know that it's 3 p.m. Eastern time is mine.
12.
Which is 12 for him. Yep. And then for the West Coast, and then he does another one a couple hours later. So he does 2 of those on Saturdays. Then he has his Card Devo show, which is his readings. That's on during the week. And Wednesday is this after our show ends, his partner Christian have a show together as well. So he's doing things like almost every day of the week. But this upcoming Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern time, I will be a guest on Put It Together Conversations with him.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go subscribe. Definitely. Is it on your YouTube?
Yeah. So where you guys are, like with the suggested, he's on that too.
Okay. Yep. That'll work. I'll go check it out and go watch Red Rich.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys' support. I just appreciate your kind words, and it really does make me feel like $1 million to know that I had any type of influence. So thank you.
For sure, definitely. But also next week, I'm doing, and again I say everybody knows it's we, but I'm doing a segment on human trafficking.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So right before we come out with the whole month of, love, peace, and shittiness. So, but just so everybody is forewarned, next episode 4 for the month of January is going to be, of course, it's going to be on human trafficking. So episode 4, we're going to put it together, and hopefully I'm going to get a guest. And if not, I'll get like a whole bunch of, information. So it's going to be kind of dark. So
it needs to be discussed,
dude. It's brutal. There's a lot of stuff that people need to start paying attention to.
For sure.
You'd be surprised. I might get the call from the FBI. I don't know. But
I'll be tuning in for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, again, thank you, Red Rich. We really appreciate you coming on the show tonight.
Thank you guys for watching.
Mad love, respect to everybody that's out there. Mad love, respect to you, Red. I appreciate it. You guys, I'm just gonna say it. Just be a better fucking human. We're sick and tired of the statistics. Yeah, that was it.
I'm pretty sure you said dick at one point. Basically, stop being a dick.
Yeah, stop being dicks, because we're done with it. Just be a better human, and hashtag just act right. That's gonna be it. So you guys have a good night. Peace, love, and happiness. Enjoy. We will see y'all later. Peace.